Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm in a different place. Look at that sun, that's beautiful. You're getting the whole Pacific Northwest experience today. We're outside filming. I'm holding my camera with a tripod, so hopefully this will be okay. Today I wanted to talk about something that maybe some of you might feel silly, others of you I think hopefully will really relate to, and it's this topic of the fact that you have permission to not be the cool, trendy girl. Okay, why did I want to talk about this? Well, I feel like I have had recent insecurities about am I dressing stylishly enough? Am I dressing out of date? And I think some of these insecurities are coming with the fact that I'm just getting older. I'm 33. I'm not in my young 20s anymore where, you're more dressing or doing the things that are in style. And I'm just getting older, and so my tastes, my interests have changed a little bit in some ways. But even when I was a kid, I wasn't the cool kid in junior high or high school. In fact, in junior high, I experienced a really difficult time. I was going to a Christian school, but I didn't have very many friends, and I kind of felt like an outcast in a sense. And so I've definitely dealt with insecurities of that nature. And growing up, my experience of the things that I was the movies we watched, the music we listened to, things like that, was different than what was in. I feel like I was a child in the 90s and the early 2000s, and so people were watching Friends and things like that. Well, I was watching British murder mysteries with my family. I remember watching Miss Marple and other murder mystery, I'm just throwing that out there, but shows, or we watched Pride and Prejudice and things like that. We only really listened to Christian music or instrumental music. Some of the instrumental music we liked was Yanni, which I like him now still, and then we'd listen to a lot of Christian music. My parents didn't let us listen to secular music, so when other people were listening Backstreet Boys and stuff, that's not what I was listening to at the time, which I totally understand their reasoning with that, because music is very powerful and lyrics can affect us in a negative way if they are not good lyrics. So all that to say, I've never been the cool, trendy girl, but I feel like we all go through phases of insecurities where we're I wish I was that girl. I wish I was the cute, trendy girl with the Stanley Cup and the perfectly decorated house, with the plants and the neutrals and all of that. And that's just not who I am. I don't want to raise plants right now. Sometimes I do, but then I'm oh, the effort and the work, and I feel like I'm always killing things. So I don't know if that's me. But and I've always loved eclectic style with what I wear, with how I decorate and all of that. And so all that to say, I just want to encourage you, if you are feeling maybe less than, you're comparing yourself to other people, because I feel like recently that's what I've been struggling with, is comparison. If you're struggling with that, whether it's comparing yourself to someone who is a certain style, or who has more income, a higher standard of living, or someone that you perceive as more beautiful or more in shape, or all of those things that maybe you desire, I want to encourage you to just sit back and just begin to appreciate the interests that you have, the uniqueness that you have, and be thankful for the way God made you. And I'm speaking to myself, because I realized recently that all these insecurities that have kind of sprung up recently in the last few years have been the kind of root issue is, jealousy, but also just ingratitude, not being ungratefulness, not being thankful for what God has given me, the way that He has made me. He made me the way I am for a reason. And one thing that has helped me, which I really wanted to share with you guys over the last few years, especially since I've started YouTube, that has helped me just enjoy a little bit more of my unique interests, has been the internet, YouTube, which I know we're always hearing about the negative effects of the internet, but there's been some very positive effects of the internet in my life over the years, where I have begun to see that there's more people with similar interests. I remember I've told you guys that I like Mrs. Midwest, her channel. I remember watching one of her vlogs and she was listening to classical music in the car. And I was like, wow, I didn't know like people my age, well, she's younger than me, like enjoy classical music. Like I thought, which I like some classical music, but I kind of thought that like, oh, like people don't like classical music that are younger, I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like, oh, everyone listens to Taylor Swift and this and that. So coming back to this topic of you don't have to be the cute, trendy girl or whatever that idealized person you have in your mind, whether it's like the outdoorsy REI girl or the girl who only eats organic, or you know, what's the word that people, homesteading girl, whatever that is. You have this idealized version of who you think, you know, you should be. And if that's not you, that's okay, because we are all unique. And if you're a mishmash of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like that's totally fine. I think maybe a negative thing with the internet has made us feel like we have to fit into a certain stereotype. Oh, if I like that this channel where they do such and such, but I'm not exactly that way, then I'm not being like all that I'm supposed to be. Maybe that's a little part of it. I don't know, but we can't expect ourselves to be exactly like somebody else. I know for a while I thought that I wanted to be more outdoorsy, and so I did a little bit of hiking and I thought it was fun. Then I realized what I really enjoyed was like walking on trails for a short period of time. My schedule isn't great to allow me to go hiking for like 4 hours at a time, nor do I really want to do that. And so that was just a few years ago that I was like, maybe I want to be more outdoorsy. Like, and I think some of that was in my head, like criticizing myself for not, you know, being the homebody kind of girl, being the inside girl. I think sometimes we still think that I need to be this certain way. I've dealt with that as well, with like how clean my house is. My mom is so clean. My sister is great at cleaning as well. And you think like I clean houses, I should be really clean. But sometimes actually a lot of times, having a very clean house is not my highest priority in life. I want to do other things. So sometimes my house gets dirty. Like it gets like that quite regularly. And I'm not so amazing at that. But I've had times where I've like beat myself up, like thinking my mom is so much cleaner, like I need to be that way. But again, like we have to be who we are. And one thing I have learned about cleaning houses is that everyone has their own standard of what they think is clean. To one person, what having a clean house is totally different than to another person. Some people might be okay with having a few things left out around their house, but having the majority of it clean, while other people want it absolutely pristine, and that's okay. So all that to say, I just want to encourage you to just not compare yourself to other people. And it's a struggle of mine as well. I struggle with comparison. And pray about that. Ask God to help you let go of that jealousy and that comparison. I was praying about that this morning as I'm reading in James 3, the first few verses of James 3, where it talks about like jealousy and selfish ambition is like from the devil, basically. I'm like, wow, James, you're pretty intense here. And so I was praying about that, but then it was talking about the alternative is finding wisdom from God. And you know, that's what I want to have. I want to be at peace. It was talking about peace as well. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have peace in your life when you're comparing yourself, when you're jealous of other people, when you're not like enjoying the way God made you. And you know, there's always a give and take. So somebody has this in their life, but they don't have things that you have. And so we can't have it all, right? But we can be thankful for what God has given us. So I hope this video encouraged you. Please let me know, have you ever struggled with wanting to be a certain stereotype of girl, whether it's the cool, trendy girl, the organic girl, the outdoorsy girl, the boss mom, whatever it is? Have you ever struggled with that? And if you have, how have you tried to combat that in your life? Let us all know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I will see y'all in my next video. Okay, bye.